Hello everyone, welcome to Around the World. Today's video is Australia and New Zealand. Let's go. Australasia and Oceania encompasses the ancient landmass of Australia, the islands of New Zealand, and the scattering of thousands of other little islands that stretch into the Pacific Ocean. The indigenous people of the South Pacific include the Aborigines, the Maoris, the Polynesians, the Micronesians, and the Melanesians. In Australia and New Zealand, they live alongside people of European origin. Australia, sometimes called the island continent, has many plants and animals that one could not find in the rest of the world. The kangaroo is one of the strange animals of Australia. The mother carries the baby kangaroo in her pouch, and they are just as fast as a racehorse. The koala bear, who lives in the trees, just looks like a teddy bear. Some of the Australian birds are just as strange as the animals. They have laughing jackass, which is a kind of kingfisher, is so called because of its particular cry. When the first Caucasians explored Australia, they found the natives, Aborigines, were mostly nomads or wanderers. Their skins were very dark brown, almost black, their hair black and wavy, and their noses very broad. Many of them still live in the wilder parts of central or northern Australia. They gather what food they can and hunt animals and birds with the spear and the boomerang. Australia is more famous for sheep than cattle and has a great number than any other country. New Zealand and Australia are the world's biggest producers of wool. In New Zealand, sheep outnumber people by 20 to 1. Many sheep farmers use a part of their land for growing wheat. In the south too, there are large numbers of fruit farmers who grow grapes, oranges, peaches, apples and pears. In the hotter lands of the northeast, the Australians also grow tropical fruits such as pineapples and cultivate sugarcane. The arrival of British settlers in the 1770s led to the building of the first major settlements, first in Australia, then in New Zealand. The Australians have built an inland city, Canberra, for their capital, but the four largest cities, Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane and Adelaide, are all seaports. Sydney, the largest city, has a magnificent harbour which is spanned by one of the largest steel arch bridges in the world. Australia is the world's 6th largest country and also the smallest, flattest continent with the lowest rainfall. Almost 5 million settlers from more than 200 countries have made Australia their home. Nearly 1,000 miles away from Australia is New Zealand, which consists of 2 large islands, the North Island and the South Island. New Zealand is one of the most remote populated places in the world. The first people to settle in the islands were the Maori, a Polynesian people. Most of the people of New Zealand are of British origin. When the European settlers arrived during the 19th century, the Maori became a minority and now only make up about 9% of the population. With a small population and rich natural resources, New Zealand's people have high living standards. The country's magnificent rugged scenery is popular with tourists. Like Australia, New Zealand has immense numbers of sheep, especially in the South Island. The farmers raise these sheep partly for their wool and partly for their meat, which they export as frozen lamb and mutton to Great Britain. Canterbury lamb was named after the Canterbury Plains. Some cities in New Zealand include Auckland, Dunedin, Christchurch, and Wellington, the capital of New Zealand. On the richer pastures in the North Island, many New Zealanders raise dairy cattle. As in the South Island, the climate is so warm that the animals can stay out of doors all through the year. The farmers sell the cream from their milk to factories where it is made into butter and cheese. The New Zealanders love to explore the wonderful scenery of their islands. Along the southwest coast of the South Island are many long, narrow inlets flanked by steep cliffs. Inland are lovely forests, snow-covered mountains and glaciers. In the North Island, some of the mountains are volcanoes, at the foot of which lie beautiful lakes. Hot springs issue from the ground right there, and geysers shoot steam and boiling water high into the air. And that's the end of the video. Please leave a like, comment on the video and subscribe to our channel to keep up to date with future videos. See you soon.